Hello and welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to do another board game unboxing. Today we're going to unbox Builders of Blankenburg by Cobblestone Games, created by Peter Schultz, and I believe the artwork was by Leah Stepanoff. I think that's how it goes on the box there. But anyway, this is an older game from 2015, which we picked up, which we've been looking at for a while. It's a game about buildings and having people come and stay in your medieval town in Germany. They just recently had a Kickstarter called Fields and Flocks, which we backed, and we got the base game with it also, along with expansions and some extra stuff via the Kickstarter. So we're going to do a total unboxing of everything. We're going to do the builders first, and then behind it, you can't see it right behind it. Behind it are the expansions, which were just on Kickstarter, which we're going to show you and show you the whole game at once with everything. So, all right. So, Builders of Blankenburg, released in 2015. Let's read the back of the box so you can see that you saw the Fields and Flocks behind there. And might be a little hard to read here, but we'll try to zoom in on it. It shows you the game board and everything. All right, there we go. All right, so the year is 1123. A new count has arrived to oversee the surrounding. Sorry, it might be even before medieval times. Count has arrived to oversee the surrounding countryside. As word spreads, people have begun to flock to the settlement. This game is right for Blankenburg to expand it into a flourishing town. The builders in Blankenburg, Builders of Blankenburg, you are one of the many people working to build up the town to earn prestige in the eyes of the Count. Prestige is earned by building structures throughout the town, but you'll need enough silver to purchase the proper resources with which to build. Pay attention to citizens of the growing town. If you build what they're looking for, you'll have a steady stream of income. Builders of Blankenburg introduces the novel citizen track, an ever-increasing populace who seek different places to live and work, while also serving to determine the length of the game. But beware, new events and visitors in each town can disrupt your best-laid plans. Make your imprint on Blankenburg to become its most prestigious builder and earn the key to the town. So we have another game by Cobblestone Games called The Axe, which is a little bit newer game, which we love that game. We play that one quite a bit here at Higher Ground Gaming. At least we did. We haven't played it in a little while, but we did play it quite a bit when we first got it. So definitely a good, solid mechanic game there. So we'll check this one out and see what this is. So, all right. We'll cut open our box here. There we go. All right. Let's get it on the side here too. So nice quality box, just like the Axe was. It's a little bit bigger game, box-wise, than the Axe was. So, all right. So it's 60 to 90 minutes. So put it back here. 60 to 90 minutes. Ages 14 plus, and 2 to 5 players. Keep that hidden for now. We'll get into that later. So, all right. So, Builders of Blankenburg. Here is our rule book here. It's got a double-sided game board, which is cool. I think that adjusts to the player count. You have 98 sort of cards, 95 resource blocks, key to the city, which you win. Well, actually, is the first player token. Coat of arms tokens, and resource dice. So some customized dice, which we always like. How to set up the game. Looks like a lot of reading, unfortunately. A few examples here, but definitely has some reading to do. So it goes over the gameplay here, the bidding phase, building phase. Income phase, definitely a lot of reading in here, which we like examples more than we like reading, but I mean, as long as it's well laid out, it should be alright. Marketplace, income phase, marketplace phase, and then you're in your turn. So it's pretty straightforward what you do each round. And there's a two-player way to play a two-player game, how to score it at the end. Looks like it's pretty straightforward scoring. And there's an alternate board, and actually you could play 6 players. So they added sufficient, so you could play 6 players if you wanted to. So that's always good, although I don't think we'll play with 6 players. Special thanks here, and an example of how to do the income phase here. So only an 11-page book, so it would have been nice in the back here to have like kind of like what a round is rather than facts, but that's okay. These might be like common things that happen in the game, so it's good to have those questions answered. So that's that. Alright, so here are some punch outs. So you have your key to the city there, your first player token, and your currency, and your shields, which I imagine each player gets a different shield. Kind of like in other games like Macau and different other games, you get your own player shield. I know Lords of Waterdeep has that, and then these are the backs here. So decent thickness. Show you a little bit here on the shields. So decent thickness there. This looks like that's a fish shield. And then another one, the same thing pretty much. I don't know why there's 2 first player tokens, but I mean first player keys. I think one of them you get at the end of the game if you're the winner. So looks like it's almost the exact same thing as the one you get in the game, but we'll see on that one. Some more shields, crests, and your board, which we'll set up and show you afterward. It's double-sided. Looks like it's very well done. And it may not be adjusted to the playground. I think it may be maybe like an alternate, just artwork, I think. Okay, so you definitely like this. You get player shields. These are nice, thick, meaty player shields. Other games like Keystone, Keyflower have them shields in them, and I think can't think of that game. The art game there. I'll think of it later. By Queen's Games. Can't remember. It's the painting game anyway. It has it in it. I'll make a note of it and put it in the game notes, in the video notes. But yeah, these are nice thick player boards, and they bend here. So these are nice high quality, and it gives you what everything's worth and what it costs to build it. Actually, these are all that looks like costs to build everything. But very nice player boards. I like these. These are really nice, high quality boards. And you get 1, 2, 3. They look to be all the same. 3, 4, 5. And it's cool. They give you that 6 player board, even though it's only says 2 to 5 players in the box, but it does give you that option for the 6th one included. A lot of times the games you have to pay extra for that 5th and 6th player. It's nice to have it in the box itself. So that's a nice added touch there. Alright, so you have your deck of cards here, which we'll open up and show you. So these are going to be the different people that you have coming to your town, I believe. So we'll be sleeving these. So I don't think it's linen finish, but that's okay. We'll be sleeving them. So let's take a look at the different types of people that come to your town. Actually, no, these look like alternate ways to begin the game. So these aren't the people that come to your town. So I think these are alternate ways to they give you special powers. So draftsman, fortune teller, landlord, merchant, miser, different people in the town, I guess. Noble, quarrymaster, trader, architect, city planner. So the architect gives you begin with the game with one additional plan for each type of building, I guess, and you can buy grand plans for 1 silver each, so it gives you a discount. City planner, you may have up to 2 structures built in a district other than where they belong. And draftsman, you may begin the game with an additional basic plan and do not pay when purchasing basic plans, etc., etc. So, alright, so these are special power cards. And these right here are the buildings that you can build. So you get a whole ton of these. So you have your inn. And it looks like this is available in a 3-player game. You have to have at least 3 players, I think. This one you probably have to... Oh, it's another inn. So probably when you have more than 2 players, you can have a couple of inns in your town, which makes sense. The higher your population, the more inns you can have. Cottage. So this is a... Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the number of people that can stay, I think. That's it. Not the player count. These are the number of people that can stay in each inn. So this is a little bit bigger inn, so more people can stay in it. And then I think this is how much you get. How much you get if they stay there, then maybe the first person you get 2, the second person 1, and so forth. If they stay there. And then down at the bottom, it shows the resources. So that would cost 2 wood to make. This looks probably like 2 wood and a couple other things in there. Other resources. So cottage, tavern. And then 3 people can stay in that one. Only 1 person in the tutor. 1 person in the chapel. Looks like nobody can stay in the fountain. It's maybe like a special thing. Shop. 1 person can stay in the shop. And you got another tutor, brewery, manor. So the different people that come to your town are going to want to stay in different. Yeah, they'll have 1 or 2 sometimes preferences, maybe 3 sometimes, but at least 1 or 2 preferences, and they'll stay in order of priority. And if there's room available there. Cathedral, 2 people can stay there. Town hall, shop, cottage, so forth. All right, state, chapel, park. Nobody can actually stay there, but so there must be other reasons why you build those. Castle, a lot of resources to build that though, but you get 5 coin to stay in that, so you get quite a bit. Alright, so these are just different buildings they come and stay in, and you're going to be able to build in this Type 1 and Type 2 buildings. Type 2 buildings are more expensive, and you have more Type 1s and Type 2s. Okay. Alright, so those are the big cards there. So there's got to be another deck. Here they are. These are the people that are going to come and stay with you. These are smaller cards, which we have only a few sleeves left of, but I think we should have enough to finish sleeving, to sleeve these before we have to order some more. Alright, so get a whole stack of these. These are all, I think some of these are events. Yeah, these are events. Let's see here. There you go. So it looks like you get a nice chunk of people that can come stay here stay here in your town. So this guy's a thief. He prefers to stay in a tavern, but he steals 4 silver from the player with the most prestige. This is a refugees. It counts as enough people to fill every available cottage and inn. Okay, so this is a bunch of people. So this fills multiple slots. And you have your, here we go, exiled prince. So he prefers to stay in a castle, but he'll settle for an estate. So then this, yeah, so it looks like they have 2 on each one for a lot of them. Peddler, she prefers to stay at a shop, but will also stay in a cottage. And again, there's a special power. Each player may buy 1 rare resource for only 1 silver, so a discount. Tax collector, likes to stay at the town hall, but will stay at a manor. Drunkard, of course, stay at a brewery or a tavern, but they damage the structure when they stay. The little ladies, they prefer to stay in an estate, but they will stay at a manor. Do not count against the capacity of the structure they stay at, so that's cool. So they'll stay, they'll give you income, but they won't count against, so if you have them come. So if you have built an estate, you can have somebody else still stay there in addition to them. So it won't count against them, against the occupancy total. Of course, you have a novice architect. They'll stay at a university and tutor second. So tutor looks like you have a lot of different variety there too. Pilgrim will first stay at a cathedral, will stay at a chapel, pays an additional 2 silver staying at a religious structure. So they'll pay extra money, so that's good. Minstrel, for a stay at a castle, will stay at a tutor. Citizens who stay at the inn pay 1 additional silver. So that's cool for that round, I guess. And you have a beggar, will stay at a cottage, but also stay at a tavern. Each player may earn 1 prestige for every 3 silver they give. So if they give 3 silver to him, it's kind of like being kind to the poor. Lumberjack, cottage, and then a tavern. Each player may buy 1 unit of wood for 1 silver, so it gives you a discount, on silver. On wood. Alchemist, like to stay at a university, but will stay at a forge. It's the first time you've seen that one. Players may convert up to 2 units of iron into gold, so they get to change resources there. Transmute, I guess. And you have a knight, of course, likes to stay at a castle, but will stay at a tower. The owner of the structure stays and earns 1 prestige. The owner of the structure stays at 1 prestige, which are victory points. The assassin, the player with the least prestige, may remove 1 citizen for the track, so he kills somebody. And then you have the miner, stay at a tutor and college or cottage second. Also pays 1 unit of iron to the owner of the structure he stays at. So that's good. Gypsy, manor and shop, does not pay for the structure he stays at, so that's not good. But they take up space. And you have your thief and so forth. So a good variety of different type of people. And I think 1 comes out every round. And then you got these, I think, events that can happen. Or they do happen. So this is High Holy Days. Each earn prestige and income is increased by 1 for each religious structure you own. Trade surplus. So these might be like all items purchased at the market cost 1 less silver than normal. So I think these are events. Harvest Festival. All citizens have the tavern added to their top choice to stay at this turn. So it changes things around. Trade flourishes. Add 1 of each resource to the marketplace. And each player gains 3 silver per shop owned. Expansion. The town is growing quickly. 2 citizens arrive next turn. Okay, so this means more than 1 citizen arrives. There you go. And you got extra stone here, I guess, because the quarry is discovered. Guild wars. Income is increased. Each commercial structure. Rumors of war. Trade is shut down. So that's a below that round. So different events. Earthquake. Structures containing 3 stone are damaged. Prosperity. Each player gains silver equal to the number of players plus 2 silver per resident structure owned. Fires. Buildings containing 3 wood are damaged. And then your holy days again. So some different events that will occur. So that's good. And then it looks like you got I'll save the die for last. It looks like you have more citizens here. So let's check out these more citizens that will come to stay in your town. So you have Armorer. They'll stay at a forge first, then a castle, and then a shop. So this one actually will stay at 3 different places. So there are a few like that, I guess. Yeah, it looks like all of these. Well, Wench, Tavern, Cottage, and Brewery. Historian, University, Monastery, and Hall. So these are more advanced ones. Citizens. Well, they give you more variety. Baker, Cottage, Shop, and Tavern. Cardinal, Estate, Cathedral, and Parish. Magistrate, Tudor, Town Hall, and Tower. So these all are staying at 3 different shops. 3 different places they're willing to stay. So they're more flexible. University, Town Hall, Monastery. So these may come out later, possibly. Blacksmith, or they might get mixed in to give a variety. Forge, Tower, and Tudor. So definitely a good variety here. Fletcher, Forge, Shop, and Cottage. Monk, Monastery, Brewery, Brewery, and University. So they go according to their personalities where they're going to stay. Castle, Estate, Manor. Shop, Parish, and Chapel for the Chandler. Mason, Castle. So these look like they don't give... They'll stay at extra places, but they don't give you a special power that round. Or power in the game. So Brewer, Brewery, Monastery, Tudor, etc., etc. I'm just going to kind of flip through these. We hit these already. Cooper. So decent artwork on these. Spice Merchant, Butcher, Healer, Priest, Royal Visit. Okay, now here are some more events. So it looks like you get some more events mixed in here. So it looks like Royal Visit. Players can earn 1 extra prestige for each civic structure they own. Add 1 unit of each rare resource to the next turn's bidding phase. Plague. 1 citizen of each of the first player's choosing dies and removed from the track. No visitor comes this turn. Ooh. Blizzard. Each player must pay 1 silver per residential structure owned. So maybe to fix stuff, I guess. Players earn 1 extra prestige. Yeah, there you go. So some more events that can happen. So that's good. That's a little more variety. So now if you mix these in with the... So I think they maybe just get mixed in. Oops. Get these in here. So it doesn't look like the backs are any different between these and the other ones. Oh, they actually are. So these may go... Alright, so these look like they're visitor cards. So these must be the visitors that come in. These are citizen cards. So there's a difference between them. So I'm not sure exactly how that works, but I imagine if it affects the game somehow. So that's why the citizens are more familiar with the town maybe, and they'll stay at more places, whereas the visitors just have a couple different preferences. And the citizens all have effects on them. I mean, the visitors all have effects on them. So these are probably the ones that get drawn every round. And then these, I'm not sure exactly how that works. It's okay, so we're just about through the base game here. So these are just white cubes for resources. More resources. So simple resources, nothing that fancy. More resources here. So it looks like there's 4 different kinds of resources. And we haven't gotten to the best part yet, so there's the wood right here, I believe. Alright, so there's 4 different resources in there. And finally, oh, actually glass, 5. So there's glass right there. And then the probably the coolest part of it, are going to be the die. So they have resource on each one of these. So stone, maybe marble or something. These are resources. Glass, probably. It looks like they're all the same, but very nice quality. Rounded edges. Kind of like a... They're heavy. They're kind of heavy. They're not wood, but they're plasticky, but they're nice. They're heavy. They're heavy and good quality die. So, definitely nice die. So, alright, so let's put these back in the box and we'll quickly show you the game board. And then we'll go through, get to the expansion stuff quickly. So, alright, so I'm going to break here for a second and we'll get to show you the board in a second. So alright, so here's the game board. This is probably the main board that you'll use most often. It's got different areas. You can kind of see the outlines in here. I'll show you. So in these green areas there, certain types of buildings will go in. Certain types will go in here. So it looks like. And then, so it looks like it's green, kind of like an orange. Looks like a blue up here. So blue looks like the religious structures. I'm not sure exactly what the difference in these are, but they're different types of buildings that will go in here. Looks like blacksmiths and type stuff, like work buildings are green, so forth. And then here is where your citizens, sorry for the shakiness here. This is where the citizens will come in. So it looks like you got 12 rounds. And then over here is the resource wheel. So these will change every round depending upon what you roll on the die. Building types 1 and 2, basic and grand buildings. And then here is where the resource market, where you can buy the buildings at one point in the game. So as usual, you have a victory point track. Not a very big one in this one. So it only goes up to 35, so maybe we won't be scoring a lot of points. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but we'll see. And on the back here, so flip it around, and this is a very alternate art style here, very just like basic art style. It does allow you to see the cards a little easier, but so just an alternate lifestyle, kind of like plans would look like, maybe like building plans. So but I like it. It's something different. So if you get sick of playing the one, you can play the other. But it looks like everything is pretty much laid out the same as in the regular game. So all right, so that is your board there. So I'm going to break again, and we'll get to show you the expansions. We'll be right back. All right, so this is the Fields and Flocks expansion here. This is what the Kickstarter was on. So I'll show you that. So it's going to add another board to the side of it, and as well as, let's see what else it adds here. So it looks like it adds 90 to 150 minutes now to the base game. So I can't remember how much it was. I thought it was 60 to 90. But that includes 2 to 6 players, whereas the other one I think was 4 or 5 on it. I think it might have been 5. So it's not a complete game, it's an expansion, so same age thing. So it does look like it adds, according to this, it looks like it adds. So it's 90 to 100, and so maybe an extra half an hour to the game, possibly. And we'll show you the back here. So Fields and Flocks. So let's see what this entails here. So as you can see, I'm not going to show you the whole board in this one, but this was the board I just showed you. And then here is going to be the that sideboard right here, the rectangular right here. So I'll show you that. It's also double-sided. So let's see what this does. So as the towns grow, there's money to be made, not only in construction, but also in the agriculture. So in Fields and Flocks, you are able to plant fields and raise flocks. Makes sense by the name of it. After all, whether it's the brewer looking for barley or the weaver who needs wool, there's a whole other economy to work in the growing town. Cement your legacy by focusing on both aspects of the town as you build it up. Fields and Flocks adds a whole new element to your adventures in Blankenburg. Not only does this expansion add an official 6-player support of the game, so I guess while the other one had a unofficial 6-player, this is an official 6-player. So it also introduces the harvest phase, so another phase to the game where you're able to direct the actions of your serfs in managing your agricultural holdings, grow crops and raise livestock, either selling them to the various citizens for silver, so you can sell to citizens, or attaching complete fields and flocks to structures, so you can attach these to different structures. So that's pretty cool. for additional prestige. So you get prestige if you attach them to buildings that you make. For the first time, new structures with special abilities are introduced. Fields and Flocks also includes many new citizens, so it's got more citizen cards, visitors, characters, and events. So it adds a whole lot to the game, as well as a new kind of play mode. So you're able to produce goods and services and animals and stuff, as well as it adds more variety to the game by more citizen cards. So let's look here and show you exactly what it adds. So looks like it adds. So you get 37 serfs. That's probably for the to work the fields and stuff. Water tokens. So you get to water your crops. Plan cards, field cards, flock cards, and then here's what it adds. It adds 4 more citizen cards. So let's see. And additionally, in the base game, it came with. Let's see how many it came with originally. So it looks like it came with 25 citizens. So it adds 4 more for a total of 29. 6 visitor cards. So originally in the game there were 17. So that's a good chunk there. More. So it's 23 now total. 6 more event cards. There were 15 events, so it's a total of 21 now. Then there's some revised cards, so maybe some of the guards change due to the expansion. So that adds more interaction there. Probably some of the citizen and maybe even buildings or other cards change a little bit to accommodate for the expansion. That's good. And you have 3 special tokens in the game. Not sure exactly what those are used for. Plus reprints of all cards from the base game. Oh, okay. So reprints all the base cards. So that's interesting. So I'll probably play originally with just the base game to get used to that, and then eventually it looks like it replaces the base card. So I guess probably to offer more interaction with the Fields and Flocks expansion. So well, that's good. So you can either play with it or without it. So we'll see if it's one of those must-have expansions or if it's just something that adds to it. I think it's probably, from what I see, it's probably just going to add something you can play with that will add to it, but maybe not be essential. But who knows? We'll have to see. Alright, sorry. It looks like our video froze there a little bit, so no harm there. So, alright, so we get our Fields and Flocks expansion here. So it looks like a 8-page rule book here. So it adds some more rules and stuff. So these are the items I described before in the back of the box that it adds to it. So some setup changes. Sorry, it's not quite focusing. So the 4 types of building are civic, commercial, religious, and residential. I didn't mention that before. And then here's a new player board here. So it shows you how to implement that to the game. Looks like it might add some more rounds here. So it looks like it might go up to 15 rounds now instead of, so it looks 9. I'm not sure exactly how that works. So I think it had 12 before, so it looks like it adds 3 more rounds. And then these are probably different effects that the Fields and Flock decks. Okay, that's where the decks will go for the Fields and Flocks. Okay, so instead of citizens and what do you call it, visitors, looks like you get Fields and Flocks. So it shows you how to implement that to the game. A little bit more illustrations in this one, which is nice. Looks like there's some goods tokens here with grapes. So I'll add some goods. And then probably the new sets of cards and how you implement them. New structures into the game. So we'll show you those as we open it up. And then it looks like there's, each of the cards probably has like iconography for the Fields and Flocks expansion, which is neat. And then, now this is what I wanted to see on the other one, which they definitely, they probably had some feedback from players and stuff, but this is nice to have. So we'll definitely use this when we play with the expansion. It's an player aid, which is on the back of the rulebook, which is I think is almost a must-have for almost every game to have that. It's nice to have the player aid cards also, but it's good to have it on the back of the rule book so it's a quick reference on how to play the game. Okay, so here these look like the here are the player aids. So you get individual player aids too. So setup, game aids, and scoring. And then you have the different phases: the bidding phase, the building phase, the harvest phase, income phase. Now you have a marketplace phase, and then end of turn. So it adds the harvest phase to it. Okay. So it looks like there's 1, 2, probably 6 of these. Yep, 3, 6 of these in here. And then here's your board, which I'm not going to set it up, but I'll just show it to you. I think I can fit most of it in camera. So this is the board here, which has the phases on it too again, so it's nice. Adding the harvest phase to it. So yeah, and then up top here, it looks like that's where you can add some more buildings up here, as well as your fields and flocks down here, it looks like. So spaces for more buildings, which is nice. And you're probably going to need that with 6 players. And then the other side will match the artwork for the other side of the board. So that's pretty cool. And let's see here. So these are looks like your flocks there and animals and stuff that are going to come out. So I'll show you that. This video is getting kind of long, so we're going to kind of try to end it fairly soon. So alright, so these are aurochs, which are animals you can breed, and it looks like they're attached, if you can sell them, possibly to the tannery and to the castle. Let's make it the focus a little bit better. No, looks like it's not behaving. Anyway, hopefully it'll focus in a second. Let's see if we can get a little closer. Hopefully it's enough for you to read. Anyway, it says 3 there, the gold coin, and tannery and castle. That's probably who you can sell it to. So you sell it for 3 to them, because they probably use like the hides and everything too. And then the butcher, tanner, baron, and historian will all pay 1 silver. So gold as opposed to silver. And then it requires you to water them, so it's looks like 4 water tokens on them. So that's pretty cool. Bees you can do. Shopping University for 1 gold. And Chandler and Healer for a silver. Chickens. Shop and Tutor will pay 1 gold. I'm not sure why it's not focusing, but it does not. And then let me get a little closer here. No, it does not want to focus. And then your Garden Fletcher there. Apologize for that. It just doesn't want to focus. Might be the artwork itself. It just doesn't like the artwork. Geese. Shop and Tutor for 2 gold. And then 1 silver for Butcher, Fletcher, and Scribe. This involves more interaction now with the buildings. That's cool. Goats you have. Tower and Cottage for 2 gold. Chandler, Barkeep, and Blacksmith for 1 silver. Horses. Tower and Estate for 3. And then Guard, Soldier, Baron, and Blacksmith for 1 silver. So kind of is appropriate to their use. Sheep, Tavern, and Manor. And Chandler, Weaver, and Mare, because Weaver use it for their wool. Swine, Pigs, Tavern and Inn for 2 gold. Tanner and Barkeep for 1. And then the aurochs again here. So there you go. So it's a good, it may probably repeat itself. And then it looks like you get some, these might be the new event cards. So they probably redid the event cards. So these are going to be the same. Looks like they added some different ones in it early spring. But they redid these cards. So these will replace the other event cards, I think. So add some new events like Harvest Moon, I think. I'm trying to think of ones that have the harvest in here. Riots, that's a new one, I think. Yeah, so it's different. Drought, there you go, that's a new one, I think. And then these were the other ones of these. So these are your flock cards. So the backs of the flock cards look like this. Alright, so that's a new deck there. And some events. And then you have your looks like more goods here. So separate these. Lots of cards on this. So you have your barley, which is 2 gold to the tavern and brewery, and 1 for the brewer, monk, and baker. Oh, now it's focusing. Beans, 1 for the tower parish, 1 for the priest scholar. Beets, 2 to the inn tutor, 1 for the priest, magistrate, and spice merchant. So definitely some good variety in these crops here. Cabbage, 1 for the inn and cottage, and 1 for the garden wench. So these are low-cost goods here. Grapes, 3 to the chapel and monastery for priest, bishop, monk, and cooper, 1. Oats, 2 for the cottage, gold, cottage mill, 1 for the baker, miller, and soldier, and rye now. Wheat, barley of course for the tavern and brewery, and then 1 for the brewer, monk, and baker, and so forth. So lots of goods here, it looks like, and these are the field cards. So you have your flock cards, and the field cards look like that in the back. And finally, your building cards here. So it looks like it adds probably some new buildings in here. So yes, so it looks like it reprinted all of the building cards, and then added some of these in here. So some more regular cards in here. So yeah, these involve the crops. The apothecary, you may sell crops to citizens in the town for 2 silver each. Sorry. Overseer, you begin the game with 2 additional serfs. So that would apply to the Fields and Flocks expansion. Yeah, carpenter, these are the same. It looks like they just redid these. I'll try to find other ones that have crops on them. I don't think they do. Yeah, so it looks like those were the only ones that had the so it looks like, let me see if I can get back to that. I might have changed the text a little bit on some of these. That might be new. I don't remember the goldsmith in the other one. Okay, so this one's new. This one's new. Definitely. So at least definitely 2 new ones, if not maybe 3. Sorry. So there's more cards here, and those are it for the cards. Now you have more meeples in here, which are probably some of them your serfs and stuff. And you're probably going to have traders and whatnot, so looks like you probably have 1 meeple here according to your family with their crests on them. So this looks like these are screen printed or heat transferred or something like that. So looks like you have the serfs. These are probably serfs, maybe. Sure, they'd show them in the instructions, but I got them covered right now. So they get the seals on them. These are different here. Yeah, see, they're all different. So you probably get, I imagine you get like a set, probably of each color. So it looks like you get your yellow, your green, your blue, yellow, green, blue, and looks like red. And you probably have your crests in each one, although it looks like the red ones are all the same. So Again, just different meeples for different sources, I'm sure, to deal with the expansion and how they interact on the board with the buildings and everything. And then it looks like you have a black token here for some special use there. Let me check and see what that is quickly. So it just says serfs. Yeah, serfs are in 7 colors. So it looks like just according to your, not sure why it's 7 colors, but there are, because I think it only goes up to 6 players. So anyway, those are all serfs, I guess, serf meeples. And then there's 3 special tokens in here. One of which is black, one of which is white. So anyway, bunch of those. And then looks like you got a cross in here. And then you got your bunch of blue tokens. These might be the special ones in here. The cross, the arch there, and then it looks like a crown. So yeah, so these are the 3 special ones, I guess. And the blue ones, oh, that must be water. I think I might have some water tokens in another game, and maybe I'll use in this, but if not, I'll just use the water from here. That's fine. And lastly, we'll just show you the new buildings. Well, the new building cards. So it looks like you have some. These all had to be reprinted because they have to show how they interact with the crops and everything. So on the bottom, it probably shows how they interact with all the different crops and various things. So very nice. New chapel cards. Yeah, so these are probably have to replace all the building cards. Graveyard, statue, parish. Again, it shows you how many people can stay in them right here. Probably 3, so 2 people could stay in that one, maybe, or maybe that's it right there. I'm not sure. So it looks like weather conditions can occur. Oh, they want stone. Actually, these are probably the resources to make them still. So they got rid of the iconography on the resources instead of showing the sticks and everything on the bottom in different colors. They like that's probably 1 wood and 3 stone. So forth. And then maybe here is who can stay at them and everything. Well, actually, these are the type of buildings right here. So anyway, a lot to take in here. So I apologize if it's not not making a lot of sense, but there's a lot of different iconography in here. But definitely looks like a great game, very involved game. Definitely a little bit more involved than I thought it was. But that's what expansions do quite often. Alright, so we'll just put this to the side and quickly show you the other 2, I think it's at least other 1 expansion that was an older expansion to the original Builders. And then there was another, probably Kickstarter stretch goals, I think, was the other one. So this is the other one. I'm going to use this one too much. This one looks like it adds an element of Take That. It already has some elements of Take That, but this is probably a little bit more. So I'll show you these quickly. Probably definitely one of our longest unboxing videos. So it looks like this adds, I don't know what this adds. Oh, that's interesting. It's kind of messy in here. It's kind of an interesting way of putting the cards in, this piece of paper. Afraid the cards. But it looks like, yeah, this has got some events here, probably some nasty events. Money changer, vandalism, theft, sabotage, murder. Yeah, I don't think we're probably going to be playing with this. We might try it once, but probably not going to use it a lot. Just like in the Orleans Trade and Intrigue, we don't really use the intrigue board in there. It's just kind of like that. And then you have your auction block. First player removes 3 resources from the marketplace to the building wheel. Black market. So yeah, this is probably more negative stuff. So we may try it once, but we probably won't play with it regularly. Anyway, I guess it's nice to have. 2 new visitors. You have an artist. We'll play with these probably. Players gain 3 silver for every 0 capacity structure owned. Counterfeiter. And you have some more citizens here. It looks like young bride. These aren't all negative, I guess. So you get an extra gold to the owner of the structure she stays at. Bailiff. Each player may repair a structure for free. That's good. Sculpture. So the citizens are good in this one. So I don't know if you can play with just the extra citizens. You may be able to, but so adds a little bit of variety. Some little more take that, which we're not really into. We don't mind a little bit of it, but so this kind of explains everything in here, just like a fold-out rule book. What everything is used for, the card abilities. So a little small thing there. And then these, I think, are. I think these are the Town Founder, Money Changer. Yeah, these look like some of these are still from the Cutthroat thing. So they may be, this is what I'm guessing they are. They're probably reprinted cards because they look like they're all from the Cutthroat expansion. So I'm thinking what these are is they're probably just reprinted cards like the Fields and Flocks reprinted cards. For the base game, these are the reprinted cards, so you can play it with Fields and Flocks for the Cutthroat expansion. So that's probably what it is. That's my guess. And then again, these are probably reprinted cards. I'm not going to open it from them, but yeah, these are probably reprinted cards for the Flocks expansion there. For the Flock to play Fields and Flocks. And also use the Cutthroat expansion. So I'm just going to leave these in there. And I didn't show you these. I should have showed you. Yeah, I did show you these. Maybe I did. These were the building Fields and Flocks. I think I showed you the Phase 2 ones, buildings, and these are the Phase 1 buildings. The ones that are a little easier to make. So these are just reprints for the Fields and Flocks expansion. So anyway, a lot to this. Apologize if it's a little convoluted, but definitely a lot to this game. So that's it. That is Builders of Blankenburg and the Fields and Flocks expansion. There you go. And the Cutthroat expansion also. A little mini expansion, which again we probably won't use that much. But that's it. It's been Eric from Background Gaming. So take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next unboxing. We still have a couple more to do. So bye-bye now. And we forgot one thing. We are in the other room, and we found another expansion pack, a mini expansion pack for Builders of Blankenburg, which we wanted to show you guys. It's the Foundations mini expansion here. So add even more to your adventures in Blankenburg with Foundations mini expansion. This small pack includes new foundation cards that allow you to reserve space in town, plus new structures and another character to enjoy. So this is the front of it right here. So we'll show you what's involved in this little mini expansion. So it's just the front card there. And these are adding foundations to the game. It tells you what you need to do. And so it looks like we have a shrine. Earns 3 silver each time another religious structure is built. Guild Hall. Move 1 silver here from each commercial structure that earned more than 1 income this turn. Manor. Foundation. Another foundation card. Looks like it costs 1 wood to build those. Another foundation. 3rd foundation. 4th foundation. So a bunch of foundations it looks like. Thus it's called Foundations. So it allows you to build more buildings in a certain area, which is kind of neat. And this guy, Reeve. So he's another character you can play. Asymmetric character. When you select 1 resource cube less in the bid, you also gain the Gray Surf if available. Okay. So that's a special surf that's in the Fields and Flocks expansion. So this is meant to be played in conjunction with the Fields and Flocks. And again, there you go. So just a little mini expansion here with mostly foundation cards, another character, and a couple more buildings it looks like. So it looks like 2 more buildings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 foundations, and a new character. So that's it. So it's been Eric from Higher Ground Gaming, bringing you Builders of Blankenburg unboxing. So take care and God bless. Bye-bye now.